All right. Item number 14, business of the City Council. Councilmember Cleveland.
Well, it's nice to be home again, although it was awful wonderful to be able to travel with my wife on our 40th anniversary vacation. Yeah, 40 years. She made a request and where she wanted to go, and I did everything I could to make sure I got her there. And we had a wonderful time. The only bad thing, it was basically Disney World and the Caribbean area. So after 40 years, I thought she deserved at least that, at minimum. And the only problem is my phone went into the ocean, so everything I had on it and the pictures that I had taken, 100 and something of them, and video was gone. Very disappointing. We did have some, though, from the ship and from other things, but other than that, I haven't been here to be able to go to any meetings since we were doing our celebrating. But they'll start up, I think it is tomorrow, is how it's supposed to be. I don't know if it got canceled, the Housing Authority. Got to give them a call. And other than that, it's wonderful to be back at home. My grandson, I got to say, he's turning out to be a great young man. The reason I say this is that he did a great job of taking care of my garden, not overwatering or underwatering. And then he was able to be carry the flag at the lobster feed. He's a Civil Air Patrol in that, and he was able to carry the flag, the guest to at the lobster feed. And then he dug in there and just dug into the kitchen and helped me out. My wife did too, and it was a very successful lobster feed this time. I made 34 gallons of clam chowder, and worked again because I stress out on that every year because it's clam chowder sometimes doesn't thicken or set right. Other than that, I think it's great to be home.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Didwell.
Let's see, we had the Yuba City Unified School District meeting, which was pretty much talking about the year-end activities going on and some of the summer events that are going to be coming up for the kids. Sorry I missed out on the Kiwanis dinner, but I had my special Mother's Day. So
Absolutely.
I heard it was a great success. I heard many people talk about it, so sorry I missed it, but at the same time, I had a great time with my daughter. We had the Girls on the Run. It was a beautiful, beautiful event. To watch all those little girls cross that finish line was very, very exciting. They set their goals, and each of the little girls crossed that finish line. I happened to be called the sweeper along with two other ladies, and so she's right there. So we made sure that everybody was crossing the finish line. So I ran one time through and then came back. I took a second run through, cheered two girls back to the finish line. One of them was crying and sweating, and she looks at me and she goes, "I'm sweating. I can't do this." And I said, "Yes, you can." So I said, you don't have to run hard. Let's just bounce our feet and go right back to the finish line. And she did. She started bouncing her feet, and she made it to the finish line with her original coach. A second girl I walked up to, and she stopped, and I said, "What's the matter?" And she goes, "My heart hurts." And I said, "You know what? My heart hurts too when I run too fast, so we're going to run really slow." So we ran really slow, and I took her all the way to the finish line and then let her cross, and she was so excited. The third one, then I made my third round because there was a mother and a daughter who were walking the entire distance. The daughter was epileptic, and so when I came back halfway through that route again, so probably the 8th mile, so the mother said, what are you doing?" And I said, "I told you I'd be back." So I started walking with them, and the little girl wouldn't hold my hand at first. And so as we're walking, then she slipped her hand to mine. So we started walking hand in hand. And then I said, "Are you going to try to run?" And she wouldn't talk to me. She would just nod her head. So we started running, just jogging a little bit. Then she stopped, just dead in her tracks. And I go, "Oh, uh-oh." So I said, "Do you want me to carry you on my back?" So I literally picked her, and she got really excited, the big smile and everything. So I picked her up, put her on my back. We started walking, and her mom's like, "Oh no, she really likes that. She's never going to get off." So as soon as I showed her the finish line, she said she actually spoke. She said, "I want to run." So I let her down, and we held hands, and we ran all the way through. She was the last person that came through, and she literally put me in tears at the end. It was so ecstatic, the smile on her face, just that she did it. So anyway, it was just inspiration to be amongst all of those ladies. Let's see. I would like to make an announcement. There is a Punjabi American Festival coming up this weekend. I know it's Memorial Day weekend. But on Sunday, the 24th at 3 o'clock, there is going to be a ceremony honoring Lieutenant Brian Murphy. He was the lieutenant who was shot 15 times by the gunmen at the Wisconsin Sikh Temple in 2012, and he will be honored that day. So I do have tickets. If anybody would like to go, please contact me, and I would be happy to give you tickets and just to honor the gentleman. So it would be nice. Okay, and I think that was it.
Thank you. Councilmember Gill.
Very busy with the Sutter Beach Flood Agency. It seems like I had 3 meetings, 2 back to back, and the board meeting we did pass the bond issuance up to $50 million to refinance some of the bonds and pay down the Rabobank loan. The project's been delayed due to the Native American Indians fines, and so we're hoping to get that project up and started hopefully in July and try to see what we can finish out. And I'll try to drag it on kind of like we were able to do last year due to the weather. And also on June 20th, I've signed up to do Dancing with the Stars as a council member and as a former mayor of Yuba City. So we've got Mayor of Yuba City challenging the mayor of Marysville, Ricky Smoya. So Ricky's doing his on Friday night, and I'm doing mine on Saturday night. So it's a great cause. Funds raised go to the Ride Out Foundation, but it is a heck of a lot of work. We've got 2 numbers for 2 minutes. I can't believe the amount of work that's put in for 4 minutes worth of dancing. So if you guys are interested in buying tickets, coming out and supporting me, it'll be June 20th at Calusa Casino. Tickets are $35, so come out and support me.
Thank you, Councilmember Gill. Vice Mayor Buckland.
That 4 minutes is going to feel like a lifetime.
It already is.
Number of things, I met with the Senior Commission about a week and a half ago to discuss what the proposed elimination of the Yuba Center Transit stop at the Senior Center on Ainsley, trying to get as much public awareness that there's a route change to Route 1 for Yuba Center Transit, or proposed route change. This is going in front of the board on Thursday afternoon, 4 o'clock, Yuba County Government Center. Should anyone feel so compelled to come over and speak to the issues related to a need for our senior center to have continued service, the nearest service would be 500 feet away from one route and 900 feet away from another route. My concern to that is that's good on 1 or 2 spring days. But when we start getting into the hundreds or it is very cold, I think we need to have access directly in front of our senior center, and especially as that building gets more and more use over time. Also attended the Police Officer Memorial to honor 13 fallen police officers this year. It's held over at the Yuba City Police Department. Was very, very well attended. In fact, you kind of walk into many of us were there, and you walk up and you don't realize just how many people have shown up to this event, and they continue to pour in as the event goes on. It's 15 minutes, that's all it takes, but it's to honor those lives and certainly to honor the individuals, not only in law enforcement, but public safety, that continue to do the job day in and day out. Attended the SACOG Government Relations Affairs Committee, and one of the things that is coming back to the General Board at SACOG will be whether SACOG as a body, 29 directors, support Senate Bill 16. This is a bill that's moving forward rapidly, and it is related to the road maintenance and rehabilitation program in the state of California. The gasoline excise tax is slated to go up by 10 cents per gallon, according to this, if this bill passes. Diesel will go up by 12 cents per gallon. The sales tax on diesel will stay the same. So the 12 cents is an excise tax. 2 cents of that will be used for trade corridor improvement. Vehicle license fee would go up annually by 0.07% over the next 5 years. Vehicle registration fees will go up by the minimum of $35. Commercial vehicles will be substantially more. There would be no increase on weighted vehicles or the large commercial trucks, and zero emission vehicles will be required to pay an additional $100. I look at this, and part of the caveat to this bill is that Caltrans become more efficient by 30% over a three-year period of time. The position I hold on this is Caltrans should be more efficient. I'm not sure 30% achieves any type of meaningful goal at this point. To increase the fees, the way that they're looking at will punish the consumer twice. First at the pump for your own personal use, and second in any goods and commodities that you may buy here in the state of California, because those are going to be passed along to you as the end user. So I look at this thing and certainly without any additional input, but reviewing this, my intent is to go down to SACOG on Thursday and oppose any recommendation behind this bill. So if anyone has any other feelings to this, or if our council would like to take up this matter, I'd be certainly glad to discuss it further. Also went to the Yuba City Unified School meeting, and plans are moving forward. The architectural plans are moving forward on 2 new gyms, one for Berry School and one for Terra Buena. And then we also heard of a potential grant possibility for the delivery of city water all the way down to the Berry School project. So that may be something that would be coming forward in the future. Also attended the ribbon cutting for Core Financial and Right and Right. It was quite an evening over there off of Plymouth Street, and they've all been in business, but they've joined the chamber. They're getting very, very active, and also just met this week with the city of Marysville to discuss mutually beneficial water issues. As more of that comes up, that'll be coming back to the council. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. I have a number of items, as Cash mentioned, regarding the Sutter Buttes Flood Control Agency. Attended those meetings. I'm not going to reiterate what he's already said. Did attend the Yuba Sutter United Way breakfast last week and honored their annual recipients of different awards, and it was a pleasure to be there and support the United Way. Also attended the Peace Officer Memorial Ceremony, which, as Vice Mayor Buckland mentioned, is a very sobering event to attend, but it was good to see the turnout. It seems like each year it gets better, and it's good to see the people of our community stepping up and supporting our peace officers, given what's been going on around the country. Attended the Feather River Air Quality Management District meeting, Gilsizer Drainage District meeting, and the Mosquito Vector District meeting. Nothing really to report out of those. Attended the Regional Water Authority meeting with Diana Langley last week. It was the first time to attend that and to be a part of a regional approach to our water management, and came up with some good ideas out of that. She mentioned briefly tonight about the cash for grass, One of the things that was talked about was having a plan in place, and even if we fund a small portion of a program to get it in place and put people on a waiting list, when the drought money becomes available from the state, that money is going to quickly be swept up by those cities and communities that have plans in place. And so it's really important that we get that done so that we're in a position to be able to take advantage of those type programs. I believe it was Folsom that implemented their plan last week, and in the first day they gave away over $100,000 in cash for grass swap outs, and used up all of the money that the city council had set aside for a year. So you can see that these are very popular programs. So we just want to be in a position where we can be able to offer those type of programs and have the funds available from the state.
What kind of grass were you talking about? Is this lawn?
That was lawn,
Oh,
turf,
okay.
turf, yes.
Confused with everything going on.
I understand, yes. And then I just wanted to remind folks that May 21st, which is Thursday, is the anniversary of the bus crash in Martinez, and would recommend that folks spend some time going out to the memorial and just remembering those lives that were lost many years ago. All right, and then I'd like to adjourn the meeting in memory of Vivian Brownlee, 87, of Yuba City. She went home on May 7th, 2015, after a brief illness. She was at home surrounded by her loving family who cared for her through her illness. She is survived by her twin daughters, Karen Cardicelli and Sharon Cornelius of Yuba City. She and her girls called themselves the Three Musketeers, as Vivian was divorced from their dad, Joseph, who is now deceased, when the girls were very young, and essentially raised them alone. Mom loved her son-in-laws as her own. We cannot imagine the life without our mom, but we know the Musketeers will reunite again in heaven. So we'd like to close this meeting in honor of Vivian May Brownlee tonight. With that, we adjourn the meeting. Thank you.